Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 6, episode 4, titled Instant Karma. Air date October 16th, 2002, and the synopsis is
Dawson's former girlfriend, Natasha, returns as the new lead actress for the movie, and now he has to deal with the consequences of dumping her. The production orders food from Hell's Kitchen, and Joey delivers it on set, forcing her to see Dawson. When Eddie confronts Joey about her uncertainty, she decides to follow an impulse and kisses him. Meanwhile, Pacey ditches Audrey and goes to a strip club with his bosses. Audrey then runs into him while out with Jen and Jack, and then Jack is disappointed when Professor Freeman tells him his wife is pregnant and later makes a move on him.
and episode. Just kidding. Um, all right. Did you like how it started?
Well, Todd's yelling, which isn't unusual.
Do you like Todd?
Yeah, no. Now that
Well,
he's
I
nice
mean,
to Dawson.
I don't like him, but he's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
would I want to be around him? No. But for the show, because let's be honest, the show is not entertaining. Having someone like Todd on that's crazy, but funny, like you can laugh at,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, that's entertaining because he brings it out. Because let's be honest, if you took him out of the episode, what would
Mm-hmm.
it be?
Mainly
So,
about Joey and
right.
college. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same blah blah stuff it's always been. There's nothing entertaining that you can like laugh at.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sorry, but sometimes when you sit down and watch TV, you just want to laugh in an episode. And Dawson's Creek is not one that you can laugh at because it's more boring than anything because there's nothing happening.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a drama. Yeah.
I know, but I either want episodes with comedy in it, yes, I know it's not a comedy, but other shows have done it
Mm-hmm.
that you can still have jokes and stuff and be entertained, or I want actual drama.
Right.
So it's like Todd brings the comedy, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when he comes in and was just like, this is all wrong, wrong, wrong. I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's right, since the movie's supposed to be set in the 70s and they can't have like 90s and 2000s, entertainment,
Yeah, but that's all Dawson knows.
right. But he did remove everything.
Well, it's either that or get fired.
Mm-hmm.
But I
And then,
will say,
mm-hmm.
remember how I said I didn't like the college stuff going on in season 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to see the film stuff.
Yeah.
I liked the opening on the film or on the movie and them being on set this episode. I liked that part.
Yeah, me too.
Because again, I'm tired of the college stuff because it's the same old, they don't bring anything new to it.
Mm-hmm.
And every show does it. So it's kind of like, I don't need to see that again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like bring something new or don't put it on the screen.
Well, I thought Todd was funny when he was complaining about how he could have been a music video director for like
Um,
the Backdoor Boys.
I
Hmm.
laughed. I was like, backdoor boys? What?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, which one did you like though?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember back then, but like today I would see a Lance.
No, I meant boy bands.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't mean
Backstreet
which
Boys.
guy.
Well, you didn't say band, so I don't know. Yeah, I did like Backstreet Boys.
Over NSYNC.
Hmm.
Me too. I like the backdoor boys, as Todd calls them. I know. I loved listening to Backstreet Boys. I just felt like they had the better songs.
And they're still a group today too.
Yes, they are. And they're still going strong.
Hmm. Yeah, so their lead actress isn't even on set yet and they have to film in an hour. Of course,
Now,
this makes Todd mad.
did Dawson know who the lead was?
Well, since he's the assistant, he should.
That's what I'm saying. Because it didn't seem like he really got it
Right.
until he was like, well, Natasha's not here. And then Dawson's like, huh? And it's like, shouldn't you have known who the lead was in the movie?
Hmm.
Aren't you Todd's, right hand man? I don't get it. I'm like, it's day one of filming or whatever. Like, you should know who's in the movie.
Hmm.
And it's just weird how Dawson reacted as he didn't know.
Yeah.
It threw me off too. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah. Apparently she's only not there because no one picked her up from the airport.
Yeah, and then Dawson said that Phil the PA was supposed to, or that he sent him to, or whatever. And then Todd goes, I fired him.
Hmm.
But how did you like how their little bit, they kept saying, Phil the PA, Phil the PA. And I'm like, why do you gotta keep saying Phil the PA?
Yeah, that seemed too much.
I was like, you could have only, you only had to say it once, and you could have
Hmm.
either said the PA or Phil. But we got the Phil the PA. You didn't have to say it 10 times.
Hmm.
Oh, but then he sends Dawson to go get her.
Yeah, well, Dawson volunteers, yeah.
Not really. Dawson really didn't. He
I,
told him to go get him or to go get her.
no, Dawson said I'll go get her after he realized that Phil wasn't gonna get her.
But Todd said go get her and he said I'll go get her. So, well, because there was no one else to go get her because he
Hmm.
fired Phil the PA.
Hmm.
But then it was weird because like Dawson smiled and I was
Hmm.
like, okay.
I thought maybe he was just excited to finally start filming a real movie.
I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, but he was supposed to be going to get Natasha. How was that filming?
Well, I mean, like later on when they get back,
I know, but he's smiling now.
maybe it's just feeling like real for him now.
Oh, it
And that
was
they're about
weird.
to
I was
start.
like, I know, but he's going to see Natasha.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it had nothing to do with her, just the movie set. And then Joey is studying at work and he's there and they
Um,
like argue about the book.
why is she studying at work?
It must be her break,
Isn't
I
she
guess.
supposed to be working?
Hmm.
Again, I wouldn't pay you to be studying.
Hmm.
But she does that on like every job she's had. She like brings her work or brings her schoolwork to work. And it's like, excuse you. I mean,
Hmm.
remember when she did that group project with Drew and Dawson all night and she's supposed to be working?
Yeah.
Like, again, I wouldn't pay you to be doing your schoolwork.
Hmm.
That's outside of work,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Would you pay her?
No.
I think right
I,
now she's being lousy. You can't blend the two.
I guess Emma isn't there to watch her. And then,
So is Emma the boss?
yeah, it seems like it. Or at least I
Like
remember
a
when she was gonna
manager?
hire. Yeah, yeah, I know when she was gonna hire Joey. So she said she was gonna put a word in with the manager. So maybe she's like right under that. I'm guessing.
Maybe like the assistant
Yeah,
manager.
supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Pacey's at work. Audrey calls him because apparently he's late to meet her at Hell's Kitchen.
Oh my God. Did you think I
What?
was gonna have a problem with this?
No, I knew you were. Yeah.
She's horrible. She is a horrible girlfriend. She in person. She will not let him study. He says, "I can't tonight. I have to study." And if he wants that job that's going to pay him money, he's got to pass that test that he can only do once.
Hmm. Yep.
So, as a girlfriend, as a friend, as a person, she should let him study.
Hmm.
That is his number one priority, as it should be. And she is
Yeah.
not letting him. She's like, no, you need to come out tonight. I'm like, Audrey, yeah, zip it. I'm like, let him study. I
Hmm.
can't with you. Like, this is why you're horrible. This is why I can't support this relationship because she doesn't care about Pacey. She doesn't understand that because she's rich, she can just fly by. She doesn't have to go to school. She doesn't have to
Mhm.
pay attention to anything because daddy gives her money. Not everybody's daddy gives them money, Audrey.
Mhm.
Like, I'm so tired of the spoiled brat that Audrey is. And here it
Mhm.
is. Pacey can't go to college because he can't get in. He barely passed high school. And he's finally being a grown up and mature and wanting this. And she's,
Mhm.
I can't. I can't. This is why they needed to break up because I can't with her.
Yeah, she
Like,
even
and
guilt
she just needs to get off the show because she's really irritating me.
and she also guilt tripped him into like saying that she's forgetting what sex feels like, so she might have to be forced to sleep with a stranger just to remember.
Ew. Like,
Mhm.
again, I don't get it. And it's not like he's going to be studying for the rest of his life. He's
Yeah.
studying for an important test.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. She doesn't understand reality.
Mhm.
And this is why I can't stand her. See, there was a reason why, and it wasn't all because of Pacey, because if she was doing this to somebody else, I would still have a problem with it. Because she doesn't understand, like I said, because she's spoiled. Daddy just pays for everything, and that's not real to most people.
Mhm.
There's that 1%, and she's part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Daddy just paid you, but that's not real. Audrey.
Mhm.
And again, so he should stop studying, fail, and go out partying with you. And then what?
Right.
Like, do you really think daddy is going to pay for Pacey the rest of his life too?
Mhm.
And also, like, Audrey, what happens if you break up and then Pacey didn't get the job because he's out partying with you?
Right. Then he has nothing. Yeah.
Right. It's like he can't fall back on anything because he doesn't have a job. Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's because of you. It's like, well, I don't get it. Like, you're not looking out for him and you're being obnoxious. And I really wish Jen would have stuck up for Pacey. She's known Pacey a whole lot longer. She should have stepped in and said, this is what Pacey needs to do. But she doesn't either. And it drives me crazy that Jen is supposed to be Pacey's friend and doesn't even stick up for him.
Yeah. They haven't really had any moments lately of friendship. So.
I know, but you've known him longer.
Mhm.
Like, if that was in your group, like Pacey's in your group, you've known him the longest, you would stick up for him.
Right.
And you would say, Audrey, let him study for these couple weeks or months or whatever so he can pass and get a job.
Mhm.
And then he can take you out and your dad won't have to pay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, why isn't Jen even saying anything?
I don't know.
This is what I mean. Are these people friends or not? Because as a friend, you should stick up for him.
Yeah.
But
Well, Jen doesn't.
she doesn't.
Yeah. Jen doesn't even want to party either because she wants to go home, but Audrey stops her and says that they have to make a pact tonight to have fun at the party.
Well, Jack also.
Yeah.
I think it's like nobody wants these people don't party, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like in Cape Side, they didn't go partying and stuff. I mean, if they did, it was like once a season.
Right. And
So
then
they're
at
not
the
used to
yeah,
this lifestyle.
right. And then Dawson sees Natasha at the airport. She was waiting there for an hour already by the time he showed up. And then when they're in the car, they have a little discussion about the big scene they have to film. And this is when she takes a sip of
She's drunk.
alcohol. Yeah. And then she wants to stop to get some flowers for Todd since she's late. It's not her fault, but yeah, that was nice.
You thought it was nice that she was getting
Yeah.
Todd flowers.
Yeah. This
Well,
little
Dawson's
something.
like, we don't have time, and like
Hmm.
and it's like, oh my God, well, you're already late.
Yeah.
All you gotta say is there was traffic.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And then Pacey is at work and his boss wants him to go out with him and the other bosses, I guess.
Okay,
And
so how did you like how Pacey's studying again, being mature? And then you got that arrogant boss come in. I don't even know his name. He's just annoying. And he was like, come on with us, party. And Pacey's like, I can't, I have to study. And he's
Yeah.
like, listen, these are your bosses. You have to
Hmm.
party with them. And I'm like, what? Like, how did you like how he threw that in Pacey's face? That those are your bosses. You need to party with them.
Right. No, I didn't like it.
Well, and again, what does that have to do with your work?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think hanging out with your bosses should have, like, outside of work, should have
Hmm.
anything to do with you, your work.
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't be like, oh, well, you didn't come partying with us, so we're gonna fire you. Like, that should be illegal.
Hmm.
Like, if you're not getting paid to be out with them, in my mind, you don't have to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, if you were getting paid, that's one thing, but he wasn't. It's just a little, what, Friday night? I don't know. But it's like,
Hmm.
again, I feel for anyone out there, if, I just feel like you should get paid for it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, and I feel like they can't fire you,
Right.
in my opinion, because again, this is just a party out. It's not a work event.
Hmm.
And again, if it is a work event, pay your employees.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
And I'm surprised they even invited him because he's not even officially like part of the place yet because he has to take the
Yeah,
exam still.
yeah, but the arrogant guy likes him
Yeah, that's
because
true.
once again, he like says, "Oh, he kind of you remind me of me."
Hmm.
Ugh, why does everyone who's about to be Pacey's boss say that?
Yeah, I've noticed that pattern.
What? Now, do you like that guy?
Not really. He just, is all about, making the money and just messing around and all that.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Goofy.
Goofy?
I don't know, just because he's like,
You mean has that kind of attitude?
yeah, like the
Okay.
laugh, this is funny, and
Hmm.
it's like, are you
Yeah.
Goofy? Like,
Like
just
he's not
just watch him next
serious.
time because he's
Okay.
like when he's smiling and stuff, and I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't even think your smile is like is real. I think you're kind of like animated in a way. Just
Okay,
watch
yeah.
him though, because he's like, oh,
Hmm.
you should go on. And I'm like, all I can do is laugh at him. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, do you like Pacey of how he's mature in season 6?
Hmm. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, so then they get to set Natasha and Dawson, and of course Natasha's
Oh,
all
by the
drunk.
way, do you think Pacey was guilted into going?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm like, there was no really choice for him to, because he kept saying no and it wasn't working.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah. And then his boss didn't even let him call Audrey when he wanted to really quick, just let her know.
All right. And that was the thing was he was like, no, I just got to tell her. And no,
Hmm.
you can talk to her
Yeah,
later. And it's like,
right.
excuse you. And again, Pacey's not getting paid. Pacey has time, shall I say, have time to call his girlfriend. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
Not that I want him to, but it is his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, so Natasha's drunk on set, but happy to be there. And, Dawson's like, how much did you drink? And she says for him not to be a SpongeBob SquarePants, which was random but funny. And then she like wants to
SpongeBob.
change his name because he looks more like a Donald to her,
What,
or even
Donald
a
Duck?
Ronald. Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe that, yeah, a Donald or a Ronald, not a Dawson.
But really, does he?
Not really.
Me either. I was like, Ronald or Donald? No.
Hmm. Like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't look like Ronald McDonald.
Hmm.
You know who does? Pacey's boss.
Hmm. Yeah. And
See,
then
I'm being
when,
nice. Aren't you happy?
hmm and then when Todd comes over to greet Natasha, she ends up telling him that Donald got lost and that's why they're late.
And then he just like looks at Dawson.
Hmm. And then yeah, so Todd tells her to go to the dressing room and she starts walking, but then Todd corrects her because she was going the wrong way apparently.
Well, it is a pretty big set.
Yeah, I was because I feel like that's her first day there, so I'm not surprised she didn't know where she was, even if she was sober. You know which way to go?
Well, I mean, are all sets the same? Do you know
No.
what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it would be one thing if it's like, okay, I did this other movie and this is where the bathroom is, but I just feel like maybe all sets are different. I don't know, never been on one, but I don't know, I just would feel like it would be in a different area at every one of them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thing too, is it's her first day. Did anybody show her where anything is?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Like when
saying.
he told her when she first got there and he said, like, go get wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
How's she supposed to know where that is?
Right, unless there's a sign, but we didn't see any signs.
No, that's why. And like, it's not like Dawson said, this is where this is. This is where hair and
Mm-hmm.
makeup is. This is where
Yeah.
wardrobe. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't point anything out either. So it's like, what is she supposed to do? Plus, she's drunk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's drunk. And so it's kind of like, okay. How
Yeah.
did you
So
like,
that
though, how he goes to follow her?
Dawson, yeah.
Yeah. And like, kind of like grabs her and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Like
leave
guides her,
me
yeah.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she said, she can't believe she let his hands touch her when she was naked.
Ugh.
So that's at least when the audience finally finds out that she was the one that Dawson was seeing before he went to see Joey again in Boston.
You mean that's the one that he left that voicemail for?
Yeah. So now it makes a little bit more sense why she's like wanting to change his name and not really wanting to be sober when she's around him.
Um, and also like, I mean, how long were they together? I mean, Dawson doesn't do well with long-term relationships.
I don't know, it was this summer, so it could have been the whole summer or when they were filming something together, or I don't know.
Because none of his relationships last.
Right.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know, but it was either way, it was long enough to, for Natasha to get her feelings hurt when he broke up with her.
Well, yeah, who breaks up with somebody like that?
I know.
I mean, he couldn't even answer, or he couldn't even wait for her to answer
I know.
because he
Or
already did the deed.
yeah, like or just like leave a voicemail to call, have her call him back or something.
And the thing is, he already slept with Joey at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that morning or that night going to change?
Yeah.
You already did it. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't and I'm so tired of Dawson at this point too. He makes Joey feel guilty again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't with this. I do love how Dawson is the one that is not mature. And I love how Pacey is. I'm gonna throw that in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Natasha brings up, the girl that he was seeing and, you know, now she knows that Joey already dumped him, so she's a little bit better about that, feels better about that. And, Dawson's like, I
Well, it's
don't
like,
blame you if you hate me.
well, you would too. You'd be like, ha ha,
Mm-hmm.
sucker. Didn't
Yeah.
didn't last, did it? Karma
Yep.
gotcha,
Mm-hmm.
as the
Yeah.
title.
Yeah. And Natasha says she doesn't hate him, she just pities him and anything's going to hell. That's when she goes into the trailer.
But I do think she hates him.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, she probably pities him too, but because I do too. But I do think she hates him.
Mm-hmm.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He did what he did. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Now I have
So
a
this is,
question.
yeah.
Did he really say on the voicemail I slept with somebody else?
I don't know. That's a good question. We didn't hear the voicemail, so.
Like, I wonder what he said on the voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly he said something because she knew that he was with somebody else.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, what did he say on the voicemail?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
Right.
Like, did he really say that he slept with somebody?
I don't know.
Because I get the feeling Natasha knows that he slept with Joey, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just weird because did he say that? Did he literally say it in the voicemail?
I don't know.
Like, why wouldn't you just break up with something? Like, why would he be dumb enough to say that he slept with somebody? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
if you were Dawson, like, I don't think you would be like, I slept with someone else.
He maybe just like kind of explained that he ran into like an old like an like an ex from his past or something, and they kind of like reconnected, and so he doesn't think he can like go out with Natasha anymore, maybe that kind of thing. So he's kind of vague about it.
Because I'm like, Natasha knows.
hmm The whole thing kind of reminded me of the Notebook, with Noah and Allie, because Allie was you've seen the Notebook, right? The Have you read the book? Okay. So the
And by the way, my answer was no.
yeah, so the plot line
I mean,
was similar.
I've seen clips and then I just
hmm
go, that's too dramatic. And I just turn it
Yeah.
off. Like when they're in the rain, I'm like, okay,
hmm
this is dramatic. Turn it off.
Yeah, well, like the story was nice, but like they just kind of were together for their own reasons. They just because like Noah like guilt tripped Allie to going out with him, or else he was gonna like drop from a great height, so like threatened to hurt himself. So I didn't like that.
So why do
But
people
then
want them together?
I don't know, it's
And
just the
why do they
romance of
think
it all.
why do they think that's the greatest love story?
I don't know. It's
Because you know
Nicholas
how people
Sparks.
always in movie or in shows and stuff, they always go back to the Notebook, and it's like I don't, I don't really know what's so good about the Notebook. The
Yeah.
like scenes I've seen.
hmm Yeah. So later on, when they are older, Allie, they're back in town, same town, and Allie's now engaged to somebody else. But then when she gets back to town and sees Noah, they hook up. Kind of similar situation, but then she doesn't even tell her fiance. So it just kind of reminded me of the same plot line there with this one, except that the other person did know. So it's kind of interesting to see the, aftermath of that. So,
You know what I'm also interested in?
hmm,
Why shows bring up the Notebook, but they don't bring up Titanic?
maybe because in the Notebook, at least the movie, both end up together at the end, as and they do live a long life. We just don't see most of it in the movie, but yeah.
I know, but Titanic, I feel like was a good romance.
hmm Yeah, maybe just,
Short-lived.
yeah, maybe just like I said, because Rose had to live, the rest of her life without Dawson for many decades. So
Um,
maybe that's why.
Now if she would have just moved over,
Mhm. Yeah.
he and Jack would have fit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you know that there was an interview
With
and it
Kiki
was brought
Palmer.
up to Leonardo
Oh,
about
no, I don't.
if she would have just moved over and he was like, I can't.
I don't think so. No, I don't
Like
think I've
he
seen
was
that
like,
one.
I can't answer this.
I just know the one of Kiki Palmer talking about this on a talk show that she was on some years ago about it, saying the same thing.
Oh, it's true.
hmm
She could have.
Yeah.
Well, if she loved him that much, she would have.
hmm Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like he probably still would have said no,
hmm
but it was kind of like you really didn't want to help him.
Right.
Oh my God. Well, did in the Notebook did they show Allie's other love interest?
Yeah. Yeah. He was in there. Yeah. Saw scenes and
Oh,
everything. Yeah.
did you like him better than the other
Noah.
one?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. And I hated that he was in the dark for a while about her getting back with Noah.
Because you know, on Titanic, I think everybody hated
Cal.
I don't know
I think
his
that's
name,
his
but
name. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was an ass.
hmm
He reminds me of Pacey's boss now.
hmm
Well,
Yeah.
he did. It was all
Yeah.
about himself.
Yeah, because remember he tried to use a kid that was stranded to get
Oh
into
my
the
God.
lifeboat. Yeah,
Yes, because it was the boat was only for mothers and
Mhm.
children.
Children.
And again, it's for mothers and children. What's that got to do with you?
Right. Yeah.
That was my thing too. I was like, that boat was full of women and children. Get
hmm
yourself off.
Yeah, you think with being rich he would have been able to, buy himself on the lifeboat.
I thought that the rich
Got on
got on
first.
first.
They should have, but I think it was only the rich women, I'm guessing. I guess at that point the men were in the same
I
class
know,
as
but
everybody else.
I thought that they had enough for the rich and for the mothers and children. I didn't think that it was only for mothers and children.
I don't know, that's a good question.
Like, why wouldn't you have enough for the rich men? They paid for it. Let's be
hmm
honest. I mean, how
Yeah.
are the women going to survive without the men's paycheck back then? I'm just saying.
Yeah, they couldn't, they didn't couldn't their own money.
Yeah. And the men have to pay for the children too. Uh,
Hmm.
How do you think they got on the boat or the ship? Like, obviously the men.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, and then
Yeah.
they put like the elderly on too, and it was like,
I don't know.
but
That
again,
would
you don't
be,
have enough.
yeah.
Like I obviously still don't agree with you don't have enough for everybody, but it's like I still think you would have had enough for the rich.
Yeah. And they did release a lot of boats with empty seats too, because they were like in a rush. But yeah,
So why didn't the asshole just get on that boat?
I think it had to been just the women. That would be the only, at least in the movie, the reason why he did that. I don't know
Yeah.
about real life or anything.
Yeah, he drove me nuts in that movie.
Hmm. Yeah. So the episode, they're just filming that scene and Natasha's messing up over and over again because she's drunk and just can't take it serious.
Did you like that you had to keep watching her over and over?
No, I would have gotten annoyed after like the first couple of times too.
I wonder how many times in like horror movies they got to redo scenes.
Yeah, I don't
I'm just
know.
saying. I just
Hmm.
wonder.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
feel
have
like
a
it
question.
depends.
Okay,
Yeah,
you like horror movies, right?
like I watch some, but not most. Yeah.
What's one that scared you?
Um, I don't even know like what it's rated, but at least when I was a kid, it was scary. Jeepers Creepers. That's one I never went back to.
What was it about?
Like a monster, man killing people. It came out in 2001, so yeah, I haven't watched it since then. Oh, it's rated R. So yeah, that's why it scared me.
It's rated R.
Hmm.
Um, okay, like I hate horror movies,
Hmm.
so I haven't watched many. But I for me, it was Final Destination 3.
Mm. Yeah, those are ones I stay away from because I know I won't be able to like live life at all, remembering all the scenes.
Well, it's
I
funny because like that's when I was like, okay, I'll never get in a tanning bed
hmm.
because the one girl died in one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, obviously the big one that the movie revolved around was the roller coaster. And I remember, and I don't know why, but I watched this before I was 15. So
Hmm.
I have no idea why I was allowed to watch it. Like, because I get scared.
Hmm.
And so I watched it and I was then 1000% terrified I was going to die on a roller coaster. So I was like, I'm never going on a roller coaster ever again. I'm going to die if I go on one.
Hmm.
And so then when I was 15, we went to Cedar Point and I was like, not getting on any. And like, everyone was like, Brittany, come on. I'm like, I'm going to die. Okay. I don't want to die when I'm 15 years old.
Hmm.
And so I ended up going on them and I loved them. And thank God I didn't die. But yeah, it made me fearful. And isn't there one of the final destinations about an airplane?
Yeah.
Yep, see, I won't be able to watch that one if I want to
Yeah.
ever travel.
Hmm.
Well, so wasn't that the first one?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh. But yeah, I only remember Final Destination 3 and I didn't watch any more because I don't like horror things. I don't want to be scared for the rest of my life.
Hmm. Yeah, I just know about the log one in the truck on the highway.
What
That seems
was
to be,
that?
I don't know which one it was. I just know that scene. That's the one that everybody talks about.
Oh.
It's like whenever
Oh,
time, they're driving, they make sure not to stay close behind or in the same lane as a truck like that. They could drop something.
um, well, you shouldn't be that close anyway. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Um, oh, prom night.
The only thing I can
I
think of is Carrie when I prom in horror.
I just that's why I just stay away from them. I don't. Oh, you want to know one that scared me?
Mm.
I only saw like 1 second And I don't know if it's a scary movie. It's my scary movie. Snakes on a plane.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but yeah, it seems creepy. Or you
Well,
can't go anywhere.
and it was weird. I think it was my parents were watching it one day and I was like, and I like walked downstairs and I was like, oh my God, like it was again 1 second of it and it was where the snakes were coming out. I was like, oh my God, I can never go on a plane. So now, no lie, every time I'm on a plane, I do think of that scene.
It is radar, so I'm not surprised.
But so no lie, every time I'm sitting there on a plane, I go, oh, where's all the snakes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how terrified I am of snakes. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that, of course, that would be the one scene in the movie that I would see.
Right.
And again, I'm never going to go back to watch it because I don't want to. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is why I stay away. This is why I do comedy or drama movies and TV
Mm-hmm.
shows because I can't do horror.
I just do horror if it's like not likely at all that it would happen in real life. So,
Like maybe this, I don't know, this movie maybe that they're making because isn't she walking down an alley or something?
right, yeah, that can happen in real life.
Yeah,
So,
that can happen. Now, I
mm-hmm.
will say for like Dawson, who's on set, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like because he's watching how it's made and obviously she's still alive,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I could do that, watching it
Yeah.
as it's being made.
Mm-hmm. Maybe,
But,
yeah.
I mean, sometimes even on like or even on like medical dramas,
Mm-hmm.
it grosses me out with surgeries and stuff. But I sometimes I'll be like, okay, just remember it's like makeup and just remember it's like the red
Fake.
dye or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like it's not real blood, Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because
Yeah.
otherwise I won't watch it.
Right.
But yeah, so I think if I was Dawson and I was watching it made,
Mm-hmm.
I could do a horror movie. Like if I could watch it be made, but otherwise, nope, not watching them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we just really quick see Pacey walking with his bosses when his boss says that he's impressed with Pacey with how many people he turned down. Apparently at one of the clubs I went to.
That's because Pacey, like I have said, is monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he's in this little thing with Audrey, like, little fight or whatever, because, they're not on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
it's still his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's gonna go and cheat on her
Mm-hmm.
because he's never done that
Right.
and he never will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there was the chef boss lady,
Eh.
but you don't count that.
Well, it's not like Audrey and Pacey were like the solid couple. They were still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, and Pacey points out that one of the women that flirted with the boss was actually a man, but the boss doesn't believe him. And then Jen and Audrey are also walking around that same area, but
With
they're
Jack.
yeah with Jack, and they're going to a house party, but they don't know where it is, so they're kind of wandering around until they find it. But then Audrey remembers that it's by the supermarket that has a free aisle. Apparently, she thought the bulk aisle was a free aisle where you could just pick up snacks and eat while you shop.
Of course she did.
Yeah, so Jen had to explain it to her.
So she's also a thief.
Yeah, but she didn't. It wasn't like purpose, but yeah.
So she's a thief.
Yeah, but she didn't know what she was doing
She's a
because
thief.
but she, that
She's
probably
a
makes sense.
thief.
I'm just saying because she never went shopping for herself before until college, probably. So she didn't really even know grocery stores were
I
like
don't
that.
care. You don't go
Sadly,
and steal the food.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I see why Audrey ended up doing that.
Stop defending Audrey.
I'm just saying, I get how she thought that it was like a snack aisle or whatever.
Nope.
Okay, and at the
Because the bags are
intersection,
right there to put the stuff in.
yeah, I don't know. And then at the intersection, the trio runs into Pacey and his bosses. So, Audrey gets mad that she's seen Pacey out and about, even though Pacey starts to explain himself, like he tried to call her, but his boss wouldn't let him have a minute to do that.
Well, yeah, when he was like, "Well, I'm out with my bosses," she's like, "Oh yeah, like you're partying and like going to strip clubs and stuff like that's not work. That's not studying." Like I get that point, like why she's mad, but again, she needs to calm her little self down
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't want to go out. Pacey doesn't like to party,
Yeah, yeah.
so this isn't what he thinks is fun.
Yeah, and then she went on to say that she doesn't know who Pacey is anymore because all he cares about is his stupid job, she says.
That didn't her dad get him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So her dad got him the job. And secondly, he has to focus on something. And that's when I love when he said, "We don't all live in Audrey land."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God, it was so funny. And not everyone's rich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it was great. I know you didn't
Yeah.
like it, but I did. Well, someone's got to say it to her because she's really on my nerves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was happy he said it to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she just, she says that she understands perfectly and just tells him to have fun. And really, as she walks away, at Jen and Jack.
Yeah, and Jack gives Pacey like a look and keeps walking. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Jack, like you haven't done stupid things.
Yeah. And the boss just tells Pacey to shake it off.
And so he does.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Pacey can't be with like a rich girl because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not on the same level.
Yeah, I thought he would have known that from Melanie.
Andy
Oh yeah,
and
Andy too.
Andy.
Yeah.
Remember he called her spoiled?
Yeah, but no, Andy didn't really like use her money the way Audrey does to buy stuff all the time.
No, but right from right when he met her, he called her spoiled because she had that nice car and everything, and not, without obviously knowing her. Because obviously, when he
Mm-hmm.
knew her, she was normal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, Melanie buying him stuff, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yeah.
that kind of defeats the purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
it also makes like the male ego go down
Mm-hmm.
when, the girl is paying.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's why Pacey is perfect with Joey because they're on the same wavelength and stuff on life.
Mm-hmm.
They both know that they have to work.
Yeah. And then with Eddie and Joey, they talk about that book that Joey's reading that
Why
she's,
is he so
mhm,
obsessed with the book?
I guess it's a really good book. And it is called The Road, but I believe it's a fictional book because there is a real book with that same title, but a whole different story. Because
I just want to know why he's so obsessed with it. Like she
mhm,
can't have her own opinions.
yeah. Because do you remember The Road that we read in school for our senior English?
What is it about?
Um, I feel like we would have read the same books even if we had different teachers, but it was about a man and
Senior
his son.
year, we had the same teacher.
No, I had my choir, the one that was also
Oh,
the choir teacher. Yeah.
no. Of course you did.
Yes. So
Why,
I'm
were you in
wondering,
advanced or something?
no, she just also taught English, and since I already had known her forever for choir,
Did you
just,
did you request her?
yeah,
You did?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the role was about that man who was a father to a little boy, and it was basically like a um I can't say the word but it's like in the future when everything's like bleak, something bad happens, so people are like trying to figure out how to survive with like little resources and like no food and all that. So just him and his son traveling, going to places, finding food and shelter, just trying to make it through. Oh, well, it was kind of a short book, I think, but it did come out after this episode. So back then they were able to say it was called The Road without, referring to the actual book. It wasn't made
Mm,
yet. So,
mm.
because they're talking about a woman, I'm like, there's really no woman in that book, at least the main character. So I knew they were
No,
talking about something differently.
when we read books in class, I didn't pay attention to them because we did so much um we did so much like just random people reading that it's
Apocalypse. That was the word I was thinking of earlier. Go
like
ahead.
if you get called on, it's like you weren't paying attention. And remember we talked about this how when we had to read down the aisle
Mm-hmm.
and or down the
You did,
rows and it was like
you did that for novels too?
but yeah,
Oh, we didn't. We just read on our own and then did the assignments and like quizzes
we
and
either
stuff.
did popcorn reading, which I hated because if your friend got called on, you knew they were going to call on you.
Mm-hmm.
Or we did that read that kind where everyone has to read. And it was annoying because you're counting your paragraphs and that's all the only thing you're focusing on is what you have to read and you're not listening to anybody else. And so that's actually terrible, like way to read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna be honest, if we did have to read chapters at home, I didn't really read them because it was like the next day we would do like a little discussion and I just didn't participate because I didn't read the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just kind of go off of what everybody else was talking about and that was it. So we didn't really do much. I mean, it wasn't like that.
Okay. Yeah, because for this one, I think it is a short book. Um, we were assigned certain chapters for certain days of the week to read, and I'm pretty sure I read like 2 weeks worth of chapters in like a couple of days because it was so good for me.
Mm.
I'm trying to see how many pages it was. 300, no, 287. So yeah, that is a short book. So no wonder why I got through it so quickly. But yeah.
And then I'm not gonna lie, when kids were reading out loud, I just didn't pay attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest though, I think a lot of people didn't pay attention when other people were reading.
Right.
So it didn't make any sense. But you also like to read, so
Mm-hmm.
would you have paid attention though if other kids were reading?
It really depends, but most likely not.
Exactly. So when your peers are reading, you're just like, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when's it over?
Yeah. Yeah. So Joey and Eddie are arguing about the book about people um living on their impulses.
What do you think of Eddie?
I don't know. He's kind of well, he was like Mr. Know-it-all, knowing the other book, Exit Brooklyn or To Brooklyn, whatever it was. Like he acted like Harry knew so much more than Joey did, and like it's like the class is easy for him, and she's slacking off, even though she's like following the syllabus, which should be a thing. But yeah,
Yeah, but what do you think of him? I mean,
well, he was arrogant, like, and he's still doing that with the book and Joey, but he's just like challenging her and debating her on the topic and the issues, which is
well,
good.
yeah, I mean, and you have to think too. Joey loves to banter with people.
Hmm.
She did it with Pacey. She did it with Charlie. Now she's doing it with Eddie, the back and forth. And she likes the challenge. And because Dawson didn't give her that. He was just too easy
Hmm.
and predictable. And um she doesn't really fall for that, and then she doesn't really, I don't know, it's just not her thing. When you look at the guys in her life, that's just not it. And
Hmm.
so Eddie kind of falls with the rest of them. And also they're talking about books and stuff, which she loves. And, that's one thing she couldn't do with any of the other ones.
Hmm.
So it's like in that way they're similar and it's good because she can go back and forth with him and she can talk to him about books and all that kind of stuff she loves.
Yeah.
Because the other guys just didn't get it.
Hmm.
So it is kind of funny when people are like, oh, how much they hate Eddie. Because from the start, he's kind of a little Charlie at the
Hmm.
beginning. but then he also is interested in the same things she's interested in. So it's like, I don't know how much you can hate on him just because he's not Pacey or Dawson. It's like, I know, but he is similar to Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And he challenges her, which is what she needs.
Yeah, like I said, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. People just hate on him. I don't know why. I guess because he's not the two main characters. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But people did like Charlie, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Joey says that she does follow her impulses plenty of times and
Oh yeah,
mentions
like
about, but
she brings up Paris.
mm-hmm.
Now, you know what's funny is she brings up how she got a ticket or whatever to go to Paris last year.
Mm-hmm.
She got an offer to go to Paris. Wasn't it Paris?
Yeah.
When she was in high school. She didn't bring
Mm-hmm.
that up, did she?
No.
Because that's two times that she should have
Mm-hmm.
went.
Yeah.
And wasn't one of them paid by the school?
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been the one to go to because it was free.
Yeah.
Because the second one she had to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and he says, "Oh, like how'd you like it or whatever?" And she was like, "Well, I didn't go." And it's like, so you're predictable,
Right.
which is kind of what she did. Remember, I even said I was like, so everyone else is like doing new things, and she's going back to Cape Side.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's doing the same old thing. And that's kind of what he brings up to her. And um there's no adventure and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And again, she didn't bring up she could have went twice.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, could you imagine if she would have said the reason why the first time she didn't go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would have felt really stupid.
I think that's probably why she didn't say she could have went. Now, how come they don't ever bring that up?
I don't know.
Did she just disappear from her brain?
I guess.
Like, come on now. You had two chances to go, but one was because of Dawson. So, yeah, let's forget that. Oh, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
writing. Let's forget that Dawson is the reason why she didn't go. And, oh, yeah, let's just forget she even had the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But you know
Yeah.
what? I will never forget.
Yeah. Joey says the point is that she could have gone and Eddie is just not impressed.
No, because she's not adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind
Yeah.
of funny because is he really adventurous?
I don't know. Haven't seen much, so it's hard to say.
So I'm just trying to point that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Eddie makes Joey go with him to drop off the food for their next delivery.
Yeah, and it was funny because she was like, "No, I'm gonna stay," and he said, "So and so staying," and he was like, "Because you're not
Legal of
whatever
drinking. Yeah. She can't
eligible."
pour
Yeah,
drinks.
whatever. Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. And then at Hell's Kitchen, Audrey, was venting about Pacey to Jen and Jack and
Wait,
all
they're at
that.
Hell's Kitchen. I thought they were at some party.
Oh, was that the party by then? It probably was.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they were at Hell's Kitchen. Pacey
Yeah.
was supposed to meet them, and then they
Hmm.
went to some party.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they were walking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just forgot to put that in here. Yeah. She's babbling and then remembers about their pact about having fun. And then she even goes into like TMI and says how, her and Pacey are down to 3 times a week having sex because he doesn't even want to do that anymore.
And Pacey or and Jack and Jen just okay, like
Hmm.
enough.
Yeah, Jen goes to get beer. And then when she does, she ends up running to CJ because she ends up pouring her beer on him.
Yeah, and then she's, oh my God, I'm sorry, you don't drink. Blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, Jen.
And she goes on a rampage about that, even though he didn't even like make a
Say
comment at
anything.
all.
Yeah.
And then back to Pacey, and not Pacey, Audrey complaining about Pacey to Jack because Jen left him there alone by himself. And then that's when Jack sees his professor at this college party of
Now,
students.
could I just can't. Like, why is the professor there? I mean, I guess we learn why, but it's just annoying. It's like we always have to blend these storylines.
Yeah.
He
Because,
can't
like,
just be the professor
hmm yeah, because, like, there's no reason why a professor would be there,
at a
to begin with.
college party.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah. So,
not unless it's like his house or he's related.
mhm.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, he just made the excuse that like some students usually invite him to the parties because of how he talks about pop culture in his class. So he's kind of they see him like as kind of
Like the
more,
cool one.
yeah, relatable that would want to go there and have fun.
But
So that's his excuse.
like, would you ever, even if you had a cool teacher or whatever, would you ever invite them to a party?
No.
No, because they could get you in trouble still.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't either. I'd be like, I don't care how like, maybe when I'm like when we're finally our age, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you could be friends with one, but like not when you're still in their class and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you definitely shouldn't have a close relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I had a English professor like kind of do this, not do the same thing, but do the opposite and show boundaries with his students because I guess he was on Facebook a lot and he like posts stuff there and his students like would want to see that or talk to him on there. So he said that he can add them as a friend like after the semester's over with his class. So he's not their teacher anymore.
They did that with us too.
Mm,
Because I remember teachers talking about it, how like, oh, it's like what's the big deal of like why can't we be friends with our students on Facebook? And it's like because it's a boundary issue, but
yeah.
yet they could be friends with their students after they were out of the class,
Hmm.
which is true because I have teachers on Facebook.
Yeah. And then Eddie and Joey get to their location for the food delivery and Joey finds out it's the same movie set that Dawson's working at.
And it was funny. She gets out of the car, she goes, "Are we on a movie set?"
Mm-hmm. Yep, and for a horror movie, so Joey knew it was exact same place.
Well, and because they're not in California, they're in Boston still. That how many movies can be filmed in Boston?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not, I don't know, the normal, I guess, that of course it's going to be Dawson's because again, how many movies are being filmed right now in Boston?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Probably the only one.
Yeah.
So she already knows.
Yep. And then back at the party, Jen and Audrey are talking to these two random guys they ran into, I guess. And they're playing drinking games, and then that's when Pacey calls Audrey and tries to explain himself about earlier.
I didn't care about that because I didn't get to hear his voice.
Yeah, and she's drunk by now, so she's, sarcastically says, she's just a dumb rich airhead who's capable of doing this, and that's when she drops her phone in the
Well,
glass of
well,
beer.
she is.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. She sarcastically said it. Yeah,
Yeah, no, but she is
yeah,
because she didn't get into college herself.
mm-hmm,
Daddy bought her in.
yep. And then Jen sees how much Audrey's been drinking and tells her to slow down, but she doesn't. Continues playing the games with the guys. And then back at the lot, Joey wants to leave, but Eddie says they can't until they get paid. So she ends up having to go to Dawson for the money. And, he's shocked that she's there. And, he's like, why are you here? And she's like, nice to see you too. And, explains that she's there for the food delivery. And then that's when Natasha walks in and realizes who Joey is.
Okay, if I was Joey, and you know how much I hate Dawson, but what he did, I would have just been like, I would just went up to him and said, "I'm here for the money."
Yeah.
Like I would have kept it so professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm only here for the money. Can you pay me so I can leave?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't even have talked to him. That's the only thing I would have said.
Right.
Like, why did they have to have a conversation? Like that
Mm-hmm.
should have been it. He should have
Yeah.
worked out the money, gave it to her, and had been like, thanks. Like that'd have been my transaction with him was this is it. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for work and let's go.
Yeah.
But I did like how Eddie got to see it all go down.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could tell he felt bad.
Yeah. Some, Todd walks into, and this is when we kind of find out a little bit more about Dawson's message that he left for Natasha. Because the second that says that this is Joey to Natasha, that's when she starts going off on Dawson, like, this is the girl you dumped me for, kind of thing.
Oh my God. But then Todd,
He's,
after the whole drama, then
mm-hmm,
Todd is just in there nodding and
yeah,
smiling. I was like, of
yeah,
course Todd is gonna just sit there and nod and smile. I'm like, what?
yeah, he approves of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, he loves this drama, especially Dawson's life for some reason.
Yeah, he loves it all. Yeah. Yep. So Natasha just goes back into her trailer, mad, and Zoe's kind of standing there awkwardly because she kind of got ambushed too.
Again, perfect time to say, just hand me the money
Mm-hmm.
or write me
Yep.
a check or whatever I'm supposed to do. Like,
Yep.
and for Dawson, just give her the money because clearly, don't you want her gone too so that it can be less drama on set?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And apparently too, Dawson told Natasha that, she was the best he ever had. So that was put into his face too during the scene, rubbed in his face. So that was awkward even more.
Well, and then she said, and then it was weird because she did say that Dawson says, like, to girls, like he sleeps with them and says that they're the best he
Mm-hmm.
ever had, which is true because didn't he say the same thing about Joey?
Right.
So I was like, it is true. He said it to Natasha, he said it to Joey. So it's kind of like, huh, which one is it?
Yeah. And then Jack and the professor are talking at the party still. And, he's saying that he enjoyed Jack's last paper and he has a gift for looking under the surface and seeing what's really going on. You should be proud. And then Jack goes on, babbling about how he enjoys the class because he never cared about school before, but, it's the way he teaches the class and all that.
Now, is it the way he teaches or the way he looks?
Yeah, well, we know what that is really about. Yeah, the way he looks.
Because as soon as he walked in, Jack was all like, oh my God. Like he
Yeah.
didn't even speak yet. Remember that scene? It was like,
Mm-hmm.
Jack, settle down.
Yeah. And then the professor went on to say that this is the kind of party that he met his wife at, and now he just found out she's pregnant, and that's why
Which
he
should have
wanted to come
made
out.
Jack just go away and stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, he shouldn't even, the guy is married. I don't even know why Jack is trying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah, it's a little weird that the professor would tell one of his students, this news that he got.
Well, apparently he feels very comfortable around Jack.
Mm-hmm. And then Pacey ends his call with Audrey when his boss walks in and um gives him. Oh, no, I'm sorry, they're still at the club. And they're talking about how Pacey's not, participating. He's kind of like off to the side trying to talk to Audrey on the phone. And his
But
boss,
I
I guess,
did
doesn't like
think it
him being
was funny.
distracted.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when Pacey was like, "Well, I'm trying to like um, apologize and like make up and stuff." And because of what happened and his boss goes, "Yeah, I was there."
Mm-hmm. Gives him a
I was
whole
like, "Oh
story.
my God."
Yeah, been trying to be fake or just one of his salesman methods to make him believe it's real.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he just says there's nothing more that Pacey can do about it now. They need to cool off, and so he might as well have some fun.
Can we go to the party?
Yeah, when Audrey is still with the guy from earlier
And
on the
they're making
couch.
out already.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy takes Audrey upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jen finds them.
Yeah, because
And
they were already on the stairs. Yeah,
yeah. And so
or the
then
other guy.
and so then the other guy was like stopping her and stuff. And she was like, no,
Yeah,
I need to go. And then CJ gets in. Oh my God, the middle. I love it.
yeah, because that's his friend.
Yeah. And he's like, well, if it's not a big deal, then we can go up there and stuff and go see.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when they like bust in and CJ is like the little hero.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the girls can leave, and he has the other guy against the wall.
And then he takes them back to, then he takes both of them back to the dorm room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we still have more of Todd and set because now she doesn't want to film anything until Dawson's off the movie set. So
So Todd fires
um
him.
yeah, because he has
And
no
it was kind
choice.
of weird because, like, you're gonna, like, Dawson's your right hand man, but you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
fire him and not the actress who hasn't gotten her lines right.
Right.
Like, isn't she spending more money on, like, having to redo the scenes over and over all day?
Yeah, I guess because she's like the big movie star that they would, would want for the movie, I guess.
But like, wouldn't everybody else be like, oh my God, why do we have to do this scene 10 more times because you can't get it right because you're drunk? And why
Mm-hmm.
is nobody on set complaining that she's drunk?
Right.
Like, you can smell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then CJ walks, I mean, yeah, Jen says that he's gonna stay there with Audrey so CJ can leave, but then Audrey kicks her out, so they're in the hallway now because he's still stuck around. And Jen says that it was weird seeing Audrey almost being taken advantage of when she was drunk the way she did when she was younger. That's why she made sure to, stop it. And, he goes kind of like what Henry said, like just it's her past. She's not defined by it. And that it just made like her more of a empathetic and compassionate person.
Are you trying to say CJ is like Henry?
No, I'm just saying in this moment when, Jen opens up about her past. And then Joey's still on set. Uh,
I didn't like this. Like, it's been how long and she still hasn't gotten paid?
yeah, I feel like anybody
Dawson
else
is
could have
very
paid her.
unprofessional.
Yeah, I feel like
Dawson didn't
somebody
even
else could have
know.
paid her. Yeah,
Dawson didn't even know that there was food being delivered.
right.
And he's supposed to be the one to give the money. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even know about it.
Yeah,
I thought that was odd. Because he's like, what are
yeah.
you doing here? If she's supposed to go to you to get paid, how do you not know somebody's gonna be there to that you're supposed to give money to? I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's still there. Oh my God. And then he goes, yeah, so I'm going back to California because I just got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah, because you're bringing your life, your personal life
Mm-hmm.
to work. No,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd fire you too.
Yeah, and, and then he says that if things were different, would him and Joey still be together?
Oh my God.
And
I literally wrote, hell no.
mm-hmm.
Because this is their 10th time and it still hasn't worked. Like,
Mm-hmm.
forget about just right now. Think of all the times before. It just doesn't work for these two. And then what you did? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because there'd be something else. If it wasn't this, there'd be something else. So,
Yeah, so Joey says that maybe this is just the part where they hurt each other so much that they have no other choice but to let go their separate ways. And the whole time Natasha's watching. And then Jack's professor drops him off at home and then mentions that his real, um, you know, what's the word? His real,
intention.
yeah, was hoping that Jack would be there. That's why he was there. So then that's when Jack learns that his professor likes him.
And it was weird because he was like a certain student. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah. So he just tells Jack to think about it and he'll see him in class. And then Pacey does show up at Audrey's dorm and he begins to explain himself, but Audrey just tells him to come in and just hold her. That's all she can handle right now.
gross. And then think about when Joey has to come home and see that.
I think Joey would have been okay by then.
Nah. Mm.
She probably
Not
didn't even,
especially, not especially when her love life is going sour.
yeah, I think she wouldn't really even been bothered by it after everything that happened with Dawson and Natasha on set. And then Eddie seeing that too. Yeah, so
Okay, but
Natasha gives it.
then, yeah, well, so Natasha was like, I got your job back.
Hmm.
You also got him fired.
Yeah. She just said that she got his job back because she saw that Joey hurt him more than he hurt her. So,
Well, okay, then she said, I liked you a lot. Why?
hmm
I don't get it. I
I
don't
don't
get
know.
that part. But so I have a question for you. How did Joey hurt him more than he hurt Natasha?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like Natasha doesn't know the whole story. She's just watching them argue from a distance. So, but Joey really did nothing wrong. So I don't even know why it would seem that way.
And if you're going off of high school, forget high school. Like,
Hmm.
and I feel like you making Joey the other woman is it just throws everything she's ever done away.
Hmm.
Like, you did that. You made that choice. You made her the other woman. So you know what? Anything Joey did in the past, this is a whole lot worse.
Hmm.
So don't say, and you hurt Joey. She thought there was going to be something between the two of you, and there's not. So it's like, if anything, you hurt her, Joey, more than anyone.
Hmm.
You hurt both of these women who shouldn't have been in that situation. And yet you still are not taking ownership.
Mm-hmm.
I can't with Dawson. Like, he's making Natasha believe that he's the victim in all of this.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, she just doesn't know as much as she thinks she does.
But I didn't like that comment that Joey hurt Dawson more.
Right.
No, she didn't. She
Yeah,
thought there
so,
was going to be something.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so Natasha just, feels sorry for him. Got him his job back because of that, even though it's all a lie.
Hmm.
When that Hell's Kitchen, they're closing up and Eddie, ask about, Dawson. He doesn't say Dawson, but who was the guy? Joey says just a friend. And then she's, still feeling bad from what happened on set.
She
So,
kisses him.
yep. And she said she was going on impulse, but, Eddie is mature and knows that she was just feeling bad and wasn't really kissing him just to kiss him. She wanted
That
to,
was
was
about
because,
Dawson.
yeah. So now it's like kind of awkward between them two now, but
Well,
he's
yeah,
still
they
off
then
his.
well, and then they got to go to school, the class together. They got to work together. This is gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so he still volunteers to take Joey home, which I thought was nice after that.
I know that such a mature thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So highs and lows.
so, I really didn't like the episode. There was really, I didn't care for the Audrey stuff and the partying. I didn't care for
Mm-hmm.
Pacey going to strip club. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
for all that.
Right.
It only entertained me on the movie set and when Joey came and stuff. Otherwise, I didn't really care for the episode. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, the movie set drama was entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of it was my low.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
there's a
about
lot of
you?
lows. Yeah, it was just funny to see Todd kind of enjoying all the drama that was going on.
Yeah, it's like that was more of the movie than the movie.
Mm-hmm. But then I would say, with the low, it would have to just be everything that happened with Audrey at the party, because if Jen wasn't there, then it would have been really bad for her.
You mean if CJ wasn't there?
Yeah, her too.
Because
Both of them, yeah.
that guy wasn't letting Jen go up there until
Yeah.
CJ was like, "No, we're going."
Yeah. Well, Jen was ready to punch the guy out just to get through, so I believe she would have done that if she had to. So
Um,
then rating.
I would rate this a 7. Not much to really like about it. What about you?
Mhm. Yeah, same thing.
7?
And then, yeah, best and worst.
So I picked the worst. There was a lot of worst people, like a lot of bad
Mm-hmm.
ones for me, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody was kind of inching their way to the top. But I picked the professor. I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
like when he was about to basically make a move on Jack, while
Mm-hmm.
he's married. And the best I picked was CJ for defending the girls and saving Audrey. What about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best is Jen for being a good friend to Audrey at the party. Because like I said, if she didn't really notice what was going on with Audrey, it would have easily happened. And then the bad, worst characters, we didn't hear any names. So, but the guy that did try to sexually assault Audrey,
All right. And then what's the next episode?
The Imposters, episode 5.
All right. See you guys later.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.